Alex and Jamie spent 4 years building a life together. Alex wrote code and led creative software projects, while Jamie ran a thriving, locally rooted nonprofit. They fit together easily, with a shared rhythm and an expectation that they would always be a pair. Then, a geographical collision forced a choice. Alex received an offer for a highly coveted leadership role at a major tech company. The catch was the location. It was across the country. Jamie's nonprofit relied entirely on local trust and community ties, meaning Jamie could not relocate. After weeks of tense discussions, Alex turned the job down. To their friends, family, and the tech recruiter, Alex framed this as choosing the relationship over ambition. It looked like a selfless, romantic act. This diagram represents what was actually happening inside Alex's mind. The human ego naturally focuses on self-preservation. When Alex gave up the job, the ego didn't register a gift. It logged a massive, unrecoverable payment. Alex entered a transactional mindset. A transactional mindset is a psychological framework where personal sacrifices are internally tracked as financial investments that require a specific payoff. Look at the blank space on the right side of the ledger. Because the lost career and future income were so high, Alex subconsciously expected Jamie to fill that void. There was a new, unspoken rule in their home. Jamie was now obligated to provide a permanently happy, conflict-free future to make Alex's massive payment worthwhile. Treating a romantic compromise as a secret financial deposit immediately places a conditional burden on the partnership. The choice is supposed to prioritize the relationship, but keeping a hidden tally actually introduces the exact pressures that will tear it apart. Time passed. The initial high of Alex's dramatic sacrifice wore off, replaced by the mundane reality of a long-term partnership. Alex's late 20s and early 30s slipped away in a less satisfying job. Minor friction over chores or time apart carried a heavy existential weight. To Alex, every small argument felt like a dangerous crack in the foundation, threatening to devalue the career years already paid into the relationship. This graph illustrates exactly how Alex became stuck. The blue line shows declining relationship satisfaction, while the rising blocks represent the time and career opportunities Alex had already forfeited. This is the sunk cost fallacy in action. The sunk cost fallacy occurs when a person continues to invest in a failing situation simply because of the resources they have already lost and cannot get back. Even as Alex grew unhappy, leaving felt impossible. Walking away would mean admitting that the foregone career, the lost income, and the prime professional years were spent for absolutely nothing. The fear of that total loss kept Alex locked into a cycle of staying and trying to force the relationship to work. The primary objective of the partnership had completely shifted. Alex was no longer trying to build a happy life with Jamie. The daily goal was simply to safeguard an unrecoverable investment. To protect that investment, Alex doubled down. Alex started pouring immense emotional energy into Jamie's life, managing their finances, handling all the household chores, and constantly problem-solving for the nonprofit. In response, Alex had adopted a savior fantasy. A savior fantasy is a psychological coping mechanism where an individual compulsively rescues or manages their partner to feel indispensable and maintain control. By acting as the hero who ensured Jamie's nonprofit succeeded, Alex found a way to justify the original career sacrifice. But none of this help was actually free. Every spreadsheet balanced, every load of laundry folded, and every pep talk given was quietly tallied as another line item on Alex's invisible ledger. On the receiving end, Jamie felt suffocated. Jamie's nonprofit was finally thriving, bringing a new sense of independence, but the atmosphere at home was heavy. Jamie lived under the constant, crushing shadow of a debt they had never agreed to take on. The dynamic had warped completely. The affection that once felt liberating was now strictly conditional. Jamie's worth in the relationship was tied directly to providing enough happiness and success to pay Alex back for a past career decision. Pouring intense emotional labor into a partner to justify your own past regrets does not repair a fracture. It weaponizes care, turning everyday support into an oppressive, unpayable obligation. Eventually, the weight of Alex's silent expectations broke the relationship. Recognizing that Alex's simmering resentment had become a permanent fixture in their home, Jamie finally packed up and left. For Alex, the breakup caused an immediate, agonizing shock. This was the catastrophic collapse of a meticulously kept internal financial model. The entire structure of deposits and expected returns disintegrated in an instant. The first layer of this devastation was the evaporation of the future. Alex firmly believed the career sacrifice had purchased a guaranteed, stable life with Jamie. Now, the very thing meant to validate that difficult choice was gone. The second layer was the brutal reality of permanent loss. The high-level job offer, the elevated industry status, and the crucial years of professional development spent in a lesser role could not be refunded. Those resources were permanently spent. Finally, Alex lost the carefully constructed identity of the indispensable hero. Jamie was walking away successful and highly capable, while Alex was left feeling deeply cheated, holding the bill for a rescue mission that was no longer needed. Alex was experiencing emotional bankruptcy. Emotional bankruptcy is the psychological devastation that occurs when an individual realizes the immense personal sacrifices they treated as relational investments will never yield a return. By keeping a secret balance sheet, Alex absorbed the full, unmitigated cost of a failed effort. True affection is given freely, without expecting a ledger to balance at the end of the month. The exact moment a sacrifice is logged as an investment, you guarantee that if the relationship ends, you will be left with absolutely nothing.